Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Caballero, and right now I'm loading the game. The game is loading. Well, I'm not really loading. The game is loading itself. The game is shrouded with the avatar, obviously, and it's still loading. Also, today, I think it's today or maybe yesterday, I just woke up. So, instructions for release 53 has been released. Okay, so there's my avatar is in Exeter Crag Mine. So release 53 instructions was released by Starr, and as I'm mining here in Exeter Crag Mines, I'm going to try and go over it. But first, let's do something or things like fighting these bandits. Well, I need to fight them. If I don't, they will kill me. The bandits will kill my avatar, and my avatar is me in the game. And also the music you're listening to is called, what it's called, I forgot. It's called Darkling by MacLeod. It's royalty free and it's licensed under Creative Commons 3.0, and that means you can use it in your own videos, live streams, or any projects, commercially and personal, as long as you credit the creator, and the creator is MacLeod. You can download the music at incompetech.com. I'm getting mobbed by a bunch of enemies. They like to mob here in Exeter Crag Mines, so be very careful when you're mining here, and always check your HP. Right now I don't have a lot of HP, so casting heal. My avatar's specializations, because I have two of them, is polearm and life. The reason for life is because I'm a solo player, and rather than building defense or specializing in a defensive skill, I chose to specialize in life, so I could heal myself better, because no one will heal me. Okay, right now I'm just looting all these corpses, looting them, all of them. Okay, so let's take a look at while I'm mining, let's take a look at, where is that? It's gone. At the release 53 instructions. Hopefully I don't die doing this. So we have here release 53, and it's a very long post. It has a ton of information. Okay, so let's start with looking for group. So, well, I am group. No, it's looking for group. A party leader can add their party to a public listing of open groups for others to join. So this is the LFG feature that has been requested by many avatars, and now we have it. So if you request something hard and long enough, the developers will eventually give it to you. And now we have an LFG looking for group feature in the game. Also, it says here, loot improvements. We made massive improvements to loot. Player crafted gear sold to merchants will now appear in supply bundles. Decorations have been added in multiple places, including toadstool on mushroom enemies. Worn armor can now be found on humanoids. Lot deeds and homes now appear in rare supply bundles, and drop rates have been increased for all items in offline mode. Okay, so excuse me. So now with loot improvements, one of the complaints many players and even non-players, those who just like to hate on Shroud of the Avatar even though they're not playing it, is the availability of homes and lots, or lot deeds and home deeds. Because many players, many people outside of the current active players don't understand that lots and houses are like are like the developers' source of funding. That's why they sell it. But now if you just play the game actively and you are, you know, strong enough to handle tier 10 adventure areas, something like that, or higher tier mobs like maybe dragons, you know, and higher tier adventure areas, you'll now have a good chance of getting lot deeds without paying any real cash, and that I think is pretty awesome. Okay, and it also said that there are now decoration as loot. I've seen in the post draft we have rugs. Okay, so I'm not sure if those rugs are craftable, but I think they are craftable. But you can also loot them from animals, I think. Okay, so supply bundles, rare supply bundles will give you a chance to get a lot deed, and I think it's both player owned town and place anywhere. Actually, it's pretty freaking awesome. Right now I'm looking for 3 place anywhere rollout deed. Sadly, I don't have money to buy it from the add-on store, and I don't have enough game gold. But hopefully, I'll get I'll get lucky. I've been saving supply bundles before. I'm not sure if they will drop in gray supply bundles, but I will still try. I have a bunch of gray supply bundles, and I will try opening them in release 53, and who knows, maybe I'll get a lot deed. I'm looking for 3 place, no, 4 place anywhere lot deeds, because I found this PRT that has a good entrance, a good location, and I want to place 4 rollouts and start a market in that player run town. And what else was mentioned? Yep, worn armor. Okay, so that is also exciting. I'd like to wear a worn armor because look at that, I mine all day. That is what I do. I mine a lot, and look at my armor. It's all shiny. It's not realistic because as a miner, my armor should look, you know, worn or used, something like that. And now they are drop items, so we can now loot worn armor and we can salvage it to get a pattern, which is freaking awesome, because with a pattern I can apply it to you know, a crafted armor with good stats, and use that and retain the worn armor look, which I kind of like. If you look at this picture of the plate armor, the epic plate worn armor, or epic or worn plate armor, it looks really nice. Look at that. It's all rusty and dirty, huh? It really looks worn and used. They should add some blood in it. I don't think they will do that. I don't think you guys are seeing it, so there you go. There's the plate armor. The worn plate armor. Okay, so let's move further down. Next, we have virtue effects for gear. We now have a system that allows us to add effects to gear where those effects are controlled by your avatar's virtue. For example, the plate chest of courage now raises or lowers health based on your virtue. Okay, so What it means is that they added virtue effects to, you know, virtue armor. They're not just for show now. Before they were, well, the virtue armors do have some benefits, because they, like for example, the leather armor gives like a bonus in dexterity, the plate armor gives a bonus in strength, and the cloth virtue armor gives a bonus to intelligence, I believe. But besides that, now the effect is somewhat dynamic because of, and it's and the effect that you'll get depends on your virtue. So it's really kind of cool. Next we have Heraldry. Heraldry is now open for everyone through the sale of Heraldry Eternal Patterns in the add-on store and Crown Merchants. We also added a cloak to the growing number of items on which you may display your Heraldry. Okay, so that is cool. Note that these items are visually distinct from the founder versions delivered in release 52. Okay, so I've been looking forward to Heraldry. Especially I'm not a founder, so I didn't get that really cool looking Heraldry armor. But now all we have to do as regular folks is to buy them in the add-on store or in the Crown Merchants. Okay, so there are a lot of Crown Merchants all over New Britannia. You'll find them in Erie, in Resolute, in Owl's Head, in Ardoris, where else? And in Central Brittany. So there are 5 locations where you will find these Crown Merchants. So they're all over the map, or all over Novia or New Britannia, which includes Hidden Vale, of course. Okay, so I've already redesigned my personal logo to make it look more like a heraldry. I'll still do some polish to it. I'll give it some more polish so that Portal or the developers will accept it, because you can submit your custom designed heraldry. Okay, I keep saying heraldry, but it's heraldry or a logo or whatever. Okay, so you can design, or is it a blazon? Right now, guys, if you're wondering why I'm having a hard time speaking or talking, is because English is not my native language. That is a disclaimer, of course. If I'm saying something weird and if I'm rambling or I'm not making any sense, well, I apologize. But it's the only way you guys can understand me, unless of course you know how to speak my language, which I doubt you don't. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm also going to try and recreate my logo using the blazon generator. If I can recreate it in the generator, I will probably just use that. But if I can't, I'll just submit a custom designed one. Okay, so what else do we have here? So a bunch of thank yous. Okay, release 53 story scene rebuilds. So we have East March. So East March has been rebuilt. It's a village in the southeast coast of Drakvald near the Boban Pass. Okay, so that area is really hard to get to because of Vauban Pass. So if you have a house in Spite, which I have a row house, it's better to set that set your house in the Drakvald region as your bind point, so you could just use a recall scroll and get there. Of course, if you have like a ton of friends, you can also use teleport scrolls. But what I did is I bound I bound my avatar in my row house in spite. So if I want to go there, I can easily recall, and I'm there without going through Vauban Pass. Of course, getting out of Dracvault, I can just use my teleport scroll because most of the people in my friends list are you know, all over Novia and Hidden Vale. So most of them are not in the Dracvault region. So getting out, to get out, I just use a teleport scrolls. And speaking of teleport scrolls and recall scrolls, I have like a few of them listed, well, 100 maybe, more than 100, listed in my vendor in Bladewick and even in Veritas Sanctuary. Bladewick is right next to Exeter. It's that rock or cave town in next to next to Exeter and Exeter Crag Foothills. And Veritas Sanctuary is a POT very close to Blood River, which is the starting area of the Path of Truth. So go, if you're looking for teleport and recall scrolls and you are in those areas, I suggest that you check out my vendor. Okay. So speaking, I'm not really interested in East March, so I'm going to skip that. We have Phenmore Island is a Tier 4 island in the Bay of Storms in the South Palladius region, directly south of Jonaford. The island includes a safe haven for plunderers, but a recent shipwreck nearby threatens the inhabitants with a horde of undead. So it's like Phenmore is like a Pirate's Cove, something like that. So I believe they will add some pirate themed gear and items in the future. So that is what my feeling about Phenmore Island, that it's a pirate's cove, or an island where pirates hang out. Next we have also Tenebris Harbor. Look at that. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing this. Oh, you know, you're not seeing them. So we have Tenebris Harbor. Was once a thriving shipbuilding town on the coast of the Bay of Storm in South Palladius. Oh, it's in the same region. For the first few days of the release, parts of the town will be on fire and the bodies of the residents will litter the streets. But soon those fires will go out, the bodies will get cleaned up, and the town will settle in a long-term plundered and ruined state. This is a Tier 5 scene, so be prepared for a challenge. An old prospector will reward players who help him find something precious for him. Okay. So it says there that Tenebris Harbor is in ruins because some event happened, and it's an adventure scene. It's not a PRT. So what do we do in an adventure scene? We go on an adventure. It's a Tier 5 adventure area. So if you're not yet strong enough to handle a Tier 4 area, I suggest that you don't go to Tenebris Harbor. Side quests. So we have some side quests. The first one is in Blood Bay and it's called You Be the Judge. It says here, let me avatars are asked to be the judge in Blood Bay. Since the previous judge met an untimely demise, speak to Mayor Hinckley in town to get the scoop. However, not all is at first seems. A mysterious individual, simply called the Orator, makes the player an offer they can potentially refuse, but maybe should think about carefully. Plus, passing judgment will reward the player with the judge's wig wearable. So doing that side quest, You Be the Judge, will reward you with a judge's wig. For those who are not familiar with that, it's like if you've watched movies, especially in the UK or in Europe, you'll see the judges wearing this weird looking curly white wig. My guess is that is what the judges' wigs looks like. Next we have another side quest. It's called Lucky Nugget. Learn the new old prospector dance in Tenebris Harbor from Zan. The old prospector for a limited time, as Zan may not be around forever. Prospecting is hard life after all. Okay, so it's an emote available in Tenebris Harbor. So you should get it as soon as you can. But if you're like not strong enough to handle a tier 5 adventure area, you should skip it, or you can form a group with friends of the same level, or if you know someone that is like really strong, maybe you can group with him or form a party with him and go to Tenebris Harbor to go adventuring in Tenebris Harbor and potentially or possibly get the old prospector dance. Next we have Spurred Bounty, still a side quest. After you've turned in at least one bounty slip to a bounty master, offer to help them and be tasked with your own bounty hunting job. Okay, I don't understand this, but well, based on the description, don't really understand how this thing works. And says and be tasked with your own bounty hunting job. What does it mean? Can we offer bounties? Okay, so I don't know. It sounds interesting, and I'm looking forward to that. And I have a few bounties. If you look at my task list here, I actually have a bounty to slip to return. So next we have Precious Wood Duck. Okay, so still in the side quest area. Lars Strong, a retired merchant and insatiable duck enthusiast that can be found in random plains encounters. Ooh, so wishes to update his flock of pet mallards to include a cuddly wood duck. He commissioned an odd chap named, I can't even say the name, Reshelp or Restelp, I don't know, to find him the best example of the duck, but has not heard anything from the fellow in over a week. Naturally, Lars will ask the player to track him down and retrieve his new beloved wood duck. Hopefully there's no miscommunication between Lars and Reshelp or Restelp, but you never know. So it's a side quest to find a wooden duck, and you'll find this guy in a random plains encounter. I'm sure you'll get rewarded with the wood duck. Catalyst of Hate. Ooh, hate. There's a lot of hate for Shroud of the Avatar, unfortunately. Catalyst of Hate. The scouts within hill sieges and forest sieges have a new priority. Take away the alchemical catalyst used by siege engineers to trigger their catapults. Bring alchemical catalyst to the scouts for a reward in this repeatable quest. So it's a repeatable quest, and based on the description, it's you'll do this in sieges. So if you want to do this quest, you'll need to enter a siege, and it says here, find the siege engineers and look for the what is this? Alchemical catalyst. Next we have Pain and Suffering. Okay, casting light because it's dark. Casting blessing because I'm fighting the undead. And even if I'm not fighting the undead, casting blessing is a good buff. It gives you a series of buffs, or a list of buffs, like what are those? Death resistance, life resistance, moon resistance, and sun resistance. Now I'm being mobbed, so I'll concentrate on fighting the mob first before continuing with Release 53, the instructions. Die already, my goodness. Okay, so I'm starting looting. Okay, so now let's go back to mining. Okay, Pain and Suffering, journey to Braemar and enter the newest edition of the Compendium of Pain and Suffering. Inside is a mystical dimension. The mysterious narrator will challenge you to survive his quest fraught with pain and suffering. So, I've never been there, but sounds interesting, so you guys should check that out. If you wish, if you want pain and suffering, why not? Okay, Virtue Armor Quest. The quest to obtain the various pieces of Virtue Armor have been fixed so that all the armor items have the correct material bonuses. Example, leather armor leggings of love. In R54, we will be attempting an item migration for everyone who got the items before this fix. Okay, so I guess there were problems with the Virtue Armor and they fixed it. Defeat the Kabbalists. The devotional caretakers need your help. Talk to each caretaker and mention the name of a Kabbalist that hates their patron Virtue. Most caretakers will ask you to eliminate that Kabbalist, while the caretakers in Resolute, Airy, and Ardors will ask you to eliminate 4 of them. Okay, so again, these are quests for those guys who likes hunting Kabbalists. Or if you can solo a Kabbalist. Of course, you don't really need to solo a Kabbalist to defeat them. And if you are like if you're not very powerful yet, you can always form a group. Okay, form a party and take on the Kabbalists. Okay, Scene Polish, Northwood. Okay, what did they do here? NPC names and backgrounds created by our backers as a Kickstarter reward have been added. Brittany Warps, okay, the same. High Vale Return, Solace Bridge Return, and Blood River Return. These are the versions of the starting scenes you see when you return to them later, or if you start one of the other paths. Okay, so they fixed that. They also fixed the Compendium of Pain and Suffering. Rush to Braemar's Graveyard and enter the revamped edition of this dungeon. Also, Demig's Battle Camp. In Release 35, we improved the behaviors and animations of the guards and patrollers around the camp. We also added emotes for Demig. Who the freaking hell is Demig? I don't know. I don't remember being there. Or have I? In Release 53, we continued polishing this scene with conversation work. The Quartermaster now has his own conversation where he mentions working for Demig. I'm being attacked by a ghost and I don't even know it. The Knights bark about training and watching out for kobolds. A Night Surgeon has a tent near the back of the camp with a few custom responses and barks. Okay. Joanna Ford, Skitter and Fawn now gives a Black Blade passkey in the same manner as Dion in Kiln. Okay, so if you want a Black Blade passkey, now you know where to get them. Airy, we removed some underlining in the keywords of many of the citizens of Airy so players would not feel obliged to talk to every single person about every single fact. North Shattered Hills added the blessing of elemental tolerance, plus 20 resistance and minus 10 attunement to earth, air, fire, and water for completing the puzzle. South Midmire Way or Midmire added the blessing of agility, adds 30 dexterity and give minus 10 strength for completing the puzzle. Okay, so you need to complete those puzzles to get those bonus. Brittany Sewers added the blessing of magic tolerance, plus 20 resistance and minus 10 attunement to sun, moon, life, and death. Desolate Hills, if you disturb the sarcophagi in the mausoleums, a high level skeleton will attack. Okay, so but what is the reward for defeating that high level skeleton? No one knows. Kel Shardfall, the initial fire set by the Shardfall have now burnt out. The iconic burning windmill has burned down. Blood Bay, we increased difficulty of many enemies on west side of the island. Oracle, what's this? Oracle Colossus, we upgraded 2 areas with ghosts from tier 5 to tier 8. So those are a lot more difficult than the previous versions of the ghosts. So what else? For Hinterlands, we replaced the spiders at the Spider Cave with tier 6 versions and added a few tier 10 spiders that will occasionally also spawn. I hate spiders in this game. Seriously, I don't like them. Halls of Artifice, we added back in the original 3 locked door visuals. We added back in the original 3 locked door visuals and improved various aspects of the Crusher, including custom audio and visual effects. Valhold, we added Fire, Norgard Thane NPCs and 2 Norgard Noble NPCs inside Valhold Castle. They have a bleak outlook and sometimes bark trash about Demig. Okay, so there's, as you can see, there's a lot of things updated in this game in release 53. Sieges, engineers no longer have hammers and will now properly use their range attacks. What? They are now bow and arrow users. Brittany Graveyard, we added a point of interest location for Helen's Tomb. Okay, so you'll find that in Brittany Graveyard. If I'm not mistaken, Helen is Richard Garriott's mother, so you might want to visit her grave in the Brittany Graveyard. I could be wrong, I'm just guessing. More Wisp, we added more Wisp to the game as they were too rare. They can now be found in Deep Savrenock Timberland, Deep Ravenswood, South Boundless Forest, Solace Forest, Longfall Woods, South Hinterlands, Far Hinterlands, North Hinterlands, and Norgard Fens. Miss, I can't remember exactly, but I think I've only seen them in Nightshade Pass. Those are where I see Wisps all the time, because whenever I go to Soren Fields, when I'm not using my teleport scrolls, I would just like run to Soren Fields. I would have to pass Nightshade Pass or enter Nightshade Pass. There's no going around it. The only pass that you can go around is the what's that pass in Perennial Coast? The one in Perennial Coast, which I forgot the name, unfortunately. Next we have East Longfall Wetland. We made several updates to improve these scenes, puzzle and components. Central Brittany, we polished the terrain visuals. We also added a book to the Brittany Castle library about dread artifacts that explains the reagents, entitled On the Peculiar Qualities of the Artifacts Wielded by the Titans of Novia. Okay, water ripples, we polished this visual effect for when the avatar is swimming through water, so the ripple emission rate is much lower when the avatar is not moving, higher when moving. Also fixed an issue where the ripples would continue even after avatar had left the water. Exploding doors, we have a new trap type for players to watch out for: exploding doors. Breakaway gates fix, we fixed an issue where breakaway gates would appear open but were not functional. Novia Overworld, improved collision along the coast to the north, east and southeast of Northwood. Crooked Shank, Cornelia the elf will no longer ask players to find the key to unlock her door if it is already unlocked. Spite moved the crafting trainer's home to a building much closer to the crafting pavilion to decrease travel times and therefore increase availability. Okay, what else? New polished in-game maps. Okay, so we added several new in-game maps: Battle of Solace Bridge, Blood River Massacre, Boreas, Colossus, Crooked Shank, Joanna Ford, New Halshort, South Mid-Mire Way, South Boundless Forest, West End. Flip map so it's correctly oriented. Okay, player on town. Do I really need to go all the player on town? There's a lot of them. What? Oh my goodness. Then scene fixes. So there's a bunch of them. Not a lot. Battle of High Vale, Blood River Outskirts, Brookside, Elad's Lighthouse, Graft Island, and so on. Okay, performance. Destroyed city walls. These assets were optimized to use fewer individual objects. Properly use LODs. So if you can, reduce the anything, that will surely improve in performance in the game. New terrain shader. In release 52, we added a new terrain shader to the game and migrated several of our maps to use it for both improved visuals and performance. The following maps have been moved to the new shader in release 53. So Hidden Vale, Overworld, Island player. Okay, so most are like player on town templates. Memory footprint. Significant progress was made on both reducing and stabilizing the memory footprints for this release. So before, the game was using like 6 to 8 GB. Now it's using maybe 6 to 7.5 GB. So in a way, it's still an improvement. Of course, I'm just making fun of it. I don't really know because release 53 is not here yet. We'll find out this. We'll find that out tomorrow when release 53 gets released. Wow, release 53 gets released. Area effects fix. We fixed a huge performance issue related to area of effect spell and skills. This could be seen in several areas of effect. Several area effect overtime spells and was being used to griff other players too. Player griffing. I didn't know that exists in Shroud of the Avatar. So I guess there are some players out there who finds griffing players fun. They're not fun if that happens to you. Okay, artifact instruments fix a major issue that was causing huge performance reductions in large group situation when these items were used. Audio optimization. We made a pass at improving the settings for a large amount of audio in the game. This will help with CPU load, memory footprint, and scene load times. Note this work might not go live until patch 1. Okay, so it's not actually in the initial patch of release 53. So let me fight. Yep, finish fighting that ghost. Texture optimization. A full pass was made at evaluating texture sizes and compression settings were made in some cases. Then in some cases meant improving the quality of the texture, but many more were optimized. End result should be both better visual quality, smaller memory footprint, and reduced load times. Okay, so this is the looking for group feature. Look at that. Looking for group is a separate window that is accessed via Alt F. It can also be opened from the social window party tab by clicking the join party button. A party leader can add their party aka group to a public listing of open groups for others to join. So basically you can now look for parties in the game. You don't need to go to Discord to look for a party or a group, or ask your guildmates to group up with you if they don't want to. Teleport to party. Look at that. There is a another type of teleportation, and this is teleport to party. As part of this change, we have extended teleport scrolls to now include party members as targets, which is cool. So you can keep your alts in your houses, log them all, and form a party with them. So you can easily teleport to your homes. Of course, you can only do that if you have a good machine, or if you have multiple computers. That will cost like a lot of. Will use up a lot of electricity if you have if you use multiple computers. because in Shroud of the, you can multi-client or multi-box Shroud of the Avatar. You can open at least I think two instances of the game. Of course, you can only do that if your machine can handle running two instances of Shroud of the Avatar. My computer can't even handle one. It's struggling running one instance of Shroud of the Avatar. So I won't be doing that. Of course, for those who are in a real party, and you know, when you're adventuring, you can go back to town, teleport back to town, repair your equipment, buy reagents or supplies, then teleport back to your party. So that is a good use of the teleport feature. Okay, next we have crafting and economy. So worn armor. When fighting low-level humanoids, you will often find rusty weapons as loot when you defeat them. Players have often asked, why don't we also find rusty armor? So starting in release 53, low-level humanoids will drop worn armor, which can be equipped or salvaged for patterns. Note, no pattern for the cloak. Okay, so there is no pattern for the cloak. Why? This will come in all armor types and a cloak: rusty plate armor, rusty chainmail ragged leather armor, dirty cloth armor, and worn cloak. The worn cloak looks really awesome. Okay, so this is what the worn leather armor looks like. There you go. You can see the worn leather armor. So next we have, it's hard multitasking, like mining and going through the release instructions. Okay, player crafted gear as loot. Player crafted weapons and armor sold to NPC merchants now have a chance to appear in loot, specifically as one of the possible items in supply bundles. These items are somewhat sorted by power, so the more powerful items will appear in supply bundles found on more powerful enemies. Which bundles exactly? You'll have to discover those bundles for yourselves. So this is a new feature. So if you crafted something, a weapon or an armor, and you sell it to an NPC merchant, then that item will go back to the game as part of the supply bundle loot. So it will be added to the loot table. Okay, so I'm not sure how that will benefit anyone. I think it's a cool feature, but I think it's better to just sell. So if you crafted something that you don't want to, that is not up to par to your standards, rather than selling them to NPCs, why not just sell them to players at very low prices? Because NPC prices are very, very, very low. So at least if you sell it to a player, you can increase it by a little and get a little more gold from it. But of course, you can also, if you want to get your loot or your crafted items in the loot table, well, selling them is a good idea. It's a good way of getting it to the loot table. Offline drop rates. Okay, so in online mode, the drop rates were tuned based on the assumption of player trade. For example, the rarity of recipes was meant to be offset by the fact that they would be sold on player vendors on other players, and or they could be taught between players. In offline mode, none of that works, of course, and therefore the game was unnecessarily difficult, in some cases veritably impossible. For PLDT, the drop rates for almost everything has been increased in offline mode. This means that resources, artifacts, recipes, gold, and components will now appear at much greater frequency, and that is great. That was very well explained in that description. Now if you want to play in offline mode, getting items, getting the items you need to craft anything or buy anything won't be that too difficult. Okay, so that makes sense. Skewer. Okay, so I'm just fighting. Ah, look at that. I don't know where they're coming from, but look at that. I have like 4 ghosts attacking my avatar. 4 ghosts. It's taking me a while killing them because I'm not dealing a lot of damage. There you go. They're all dead. Sadly, ghosts only gives corpse wax and gold or game gold. They have a very extremely small loot table. Okay, gold ore. Next we have lot deeds and homes loot. Placed anywhere and player-owned town, lot deeds will now appear occasionally in rare supply bundles along with an assortment of home deeds. Which bundles exactly? You'll have to discover those bundles for yourselves. Okay, so this is a great addition because now you don't need to buy lot deeds or home deeds if you don't want to. You can just go on adventure in higher tier adventure areas and hunt for them through the supply bundles. But don't expect that you'll get don't expect that the drop rate is high. It will be extremely low. I believe it's going to be lower than crowns of the obsidians. If you know how rare crowns of the obsidians are, it would be, my guess, 10 times rarer. So it's like super ultra duper extremely rare. Okay, so they won't give away lot deeds that easily. Okay, you'll have to work for it. That is just my assumption. Okay, I'm just guessing, and that is why I'm saving all my supply bundles, gray, yellow, whatever color those bundles are. I'm saving them because in R50 I'm going to open a bunch of them. I'm going to wait until I have like maybe 100 and then open one, and who knows, I might get lucky. As I've said earlier, I'm looking for at least 4 placed anywhere roll-on deed. Also, those people who likes to attack Shroud of the Avatar because of its housing system, because they keep complaining, you need to pay like $500 to get a house. And now you don't need to pay anything. You'll just have to spend a lot of time. Of course, they will keep on, complaining. It takes a lot of time. Seriously, there's no pleasing everybody. And my guess is Shroud of the developers of the game are not trying to please everyone, because that is impossible. Okay. But now there is an option, because the lot deeds and home deeds are now what do you call this? Loot items. They are basically loot items now. Okay. So there's no reason not to get a house or lot in Shroud or in New Britannia, because you can get them. They are supposed to be end game content. They're not for newbies. Of course, if you're a newbie and you want a home, you can buy it, but don't complain that it costs like $500 when it's really not. Or if you don't want to spend a lot of, or spend any money, you can just save game gold and buy it from other players, or just hunt for them. Okay, decorations loot. We have begun adding more decorations as loot items. Toadstools can be gained by defeating the mushroom creatures. Additionally, various items that were previously only found in NPC homes can now occasionally be found in chests in adventure areas. What else? Also, animal skins and heads can now be used to craft animal skin rugs. That is nice. So here we have a picture of those toadstools. Look at that. Those are toadstools. It's not the toadstool in Mario. It's a different kind of toadstool. Next we have crafting failure equals durability loss. Triggering a failure when adding enchantments and masterworks to gear will no longer automatically destroy the item. Instead, it will simply decrease the durability of the item. When any gear reaches 30 durability or less, no further enchantments or works are allowed. We decided to eliminate item destruction since we were adding the ability for player crafted gear to become loot and a source of income or resources for crafters. Trust me, it's not a source of income. This now gives them the option when they fail to either salvage for resources or sell the lower durability item to merchants to put into their loot table. The cost of crafting a weapon and an armor and selling them to NPC merchants, it's not a source of income. There is no way you'll make money doing that, or because of the high cost of crafting a weapon, the high cost of the materials. For example, crafting an epic plate armor or just a plate armor with the current prices of iron ore will cost you 10 to 15 game gold for a set. Okay, so and selling that to an NPC as a source of income is ridiculous. It's unreal. Okay, because for example, the plate chest armor, if you sell that to an NPC, the NPC will just pay you like a little over 100 gold for it. So you spent like hundreds of or even thousands of game gold crafting that item, that armor, and the NPC merchant will only buy it for like a little over 100 gold. So that is not a source of income. Unless of course you sell it to the NPC, it gets added to the loot table, and you get it, and then you get it in a supply bundle and you sell it again. Maybe it will become a source of income, but it's not a guarantee that you will get the item again in the as loot in the game. So someone might get it and then just salvage it for a few metal scraps. So again, it's not a source of income. It's better to sell. So if you masterworked or enchanted something and then it failed, the durability is low, sell it to a player. Okay, someone will buy it for like 500 game gold, which is a lot more than what an NPC merchant will pay for it. Next we have Ring of Chrysopia. This artifact now benefits enchanting along with other alchemy crafting. Player vendor sitting. We extended the time to 14 days before they will sit down. We also gave them the ability to sit in a nearby chair if one is available, instead of just sitting on the ground. Harvestable resources visibility. Okay, I'm being attacked by a skeleton. Okay, the skeleton is dead. It's already dead, now it's double dead. Garlic, nightshade, and mandrake root are all now easier to see. Garlic also has been made larger with leaves added. Additionally, nightshade and mandrake root have the whole plant pulsing instead of just parts of those plants. Nice. Masterwork enchant UI. The item you are attempting to masterwork or enchant is now visible during the process. Aeronaut boots fixed. This can now be masterworked and enchanted. New recipes and patterns. So we have short banner, airy decoration merchant recipe, long banner, same in airy, gas ball tower, Brittany decoration merchant's recipe, animal skin rugs, discoverable Exeter decoration merchant. So I'm going to, luckily airy and Exeter are very close to each other, so I can just go to those towns and buy them. Animal skin rugs, Arctic wolf, desert wolf, grizzly, obsidian wolf and bear, patriarch bear and polar bear skin rugs. Okay, so worn armor, again, these are what do you call this? These are lootable from humanoid enemies. So we have here rusty plate armor set, rusty chainmail armor set, dirty cloth armor set, and ragged leather armor set. Okay, so here we have the chainmail. So let's take a look at the chainmail. There you go, that is the chainmail, or the rusty chainmail armor set. It's a complete set. If you get the set, you can salvage it and get a pattern, but again, salvaging does not guarantee that you'll get a pattern, so there is a chance. So it's also very rare, so getting a pattern is rare. Next we have heraldry patterns. Okay, so these are available eternal patterns in the add-on store. So we have the cloth, leather, plate, chainmail, then rectangular heraldry shield, then heraldry front clasp cloak, and short and long heraldry banners. Again, you can buy those, the eternal patterns, in the add-on store in release 53. Not now. 2 days from now, the day after. So once release 53 is released, you can go to the add-on store and buy them, or find a crown merchant if you don't have the cash but you have kotos or gold kotos. You can buy them from the crown merchants in the game. Okay, user interface polish. Jump on spacebar down. Okay, casting light. Jump on spacebar down. When we first implemented jump in our game, we did not want players constantly bunny hopping during combat, so we implemented various solutions like the stillness bonus. We also put in charge jumping, where the longer you held down the spacebar, the bigger your jump. This meant that the actual trigger for the jump action became releasing the spacebar versus the more traditional pressing the spacebar down. This counterintuitive interface choice has since cost us new players while not actually discouraging combat jumping. So we have now made the default jump action triggered when you press down on the spacebar. The height of this jump is the maximum height at which you would have done a fully charged jump. Why can't they add jump as a skill? So we have sprint as a skill, so why can't they add jump as a passive skill? So if you keep jumping, you level it up, and then as you level the skill up, the higher your jump gets. So just an idea. Loading map due to various internet connection speeds, map sizes, the amount of information on any given map, how many quests you might have, etc. in-game maps can take several seconds to load sometimes. To let you know that something is happening during those times, we added a loading message to in-game maps. Okay. As you can see, I don't use the in-game maps because it's an external program, and loading it adds to lag. So I don't use it that much. Fortunately, I'm now more familiar with the areas I frequent, like Exeter Crag Mines and the Overworld map. So I don't really need to use the in-game map unless of course it's a new area, and of course when I'm it's a new area and I'm looking for something. But right now that's not the case. I'm always in the mines and I'm very familiar with the layout of the mines already. It's still improving the adding a loading to the in-game map will benefit the new players, because they won't at least now they will know if the map is loading or not. Okay, map lot automation. Okay, so this is a good feature. Starting in R53, lots and houses will be automatically populated on the in-game map. This has implications for POT owners who have been managing houses manually. This is how it will work once lot automation goes live next week. What, next week? Not this week. POT owners will still be unable to modify lots. There will be a new layer for houses that is automatically populated. Houses that have been placed on the minimap that overlap with lot placements will be moved to a new layer. This layer will be invisible by default, but can be re-enabled using the layer selector. This is to prevent the old manually placed houses from overlapping with the automatically placed houses. This layer is intended to help POT owners who were placing things manually maintain anything that overlaps with lot placement. This will be a one-time transition. If a POT owner wants to put down housing icons on top of a lot, they will be able to after lot automation deployment. Okay, so that is a good feature. You can now use the Shroud of the Avatar map, the online Shroud of the Avatar map, to check for available lots in the game, especially in NPC towns and player-run towns. Chat filter for loot. There is now a filter in chat that lets you filter out loot messages. Razer Chroma Refactor. We have completely refactored our support for Razer Chroma peripheral lighting devices and updated to their latest software. NPC directions. Did you know that you can ask many NPCs for directions simply by asking, where is the bank, where is the town crier? We have made many improvements on this system over the past releases, including automatically unlocking compass points and marking response with a brief list of everywhere they can direct you to. Okay, so that is a good addition, especially for new players. They can just talk to an NPC and ask for directions. Map localization and Linux support delayed. Unfortunately, the plugin used for the map system has still not been ported to Linux, and the owner of the plugin still has provided no ETA on when, if ever, that port will happen. However, we have been able to obtain the source and have made some attempts at the port ourselves, but those attempts have yet to be successful. This has once again delayed Linux support and secondary delayed localization support. Okay, next we have the combat section. So virtue effects for gear. We now have a system. We now have a system that allows us to add effects to gear where those effects are controlled by your avatar's virtue. For example, the plate chest of cards now raises or lowers health based on your avatar's virtue. Here are all the items we added virtue effects to: plate armor of love, leather armor of love, cloth armor of truth, dread artifacts, shroud of the avatar. What else? Oh, okay. So those are the only virtue items. What about the virtue cloak and the skull cloak? I thought those were virtue items. I guess not. They may have the virtue symbol or symbol, but they're not virtue items or virtue gear. Starting skill spells. During one of our previous polishing passes on the new user experience, we reduced the number of skill spells that we started new players with to only 2 skill spells on their combat bar to prevent overwhelming them with too many choices. Unfortunately, many players never realized they had more than those 2 abilities before they quit the game, so we have gone back to populating the combat bar with all 6 of the active skill spells that a new player has. Again, that is a good addition because new players don't really know a lot of things, so assuming that they will eventually know it or they will learn it quickly is not a good thing. So hopefully now that there are more skills in the hotbar or the action bar, new players will will stay longer and give the game or play the game more, because now they have more skills. They don't have to look for where the skills are located. Chaos Bomb. This new area of effect combo randomly teleports and confuses everyone, including the caster and his party members, flagged as PvP. Okay, so that is a new chaos skill, a Chaos Bomb. I don't know how well it will work in PvE though. So if you if you attack an enemy with a Chaos Bomb, it will teleport them randomly and also confuse them. Auto attack and neutral targets. We have tuned auto attack, so it should now favor hostile targets much higher than neutral targets in combat situations. Okay, still mining and getting a little lag. New icons, unique icons have been added for Pugilism, Backstab, Chaotic Shield, and Valiant Warden. Watchers and Virtue. Killing peaceful watchers now once again reduces your virtue. Feel free to kill as many hacked watchers as you want in cruel and other kobold controlled areas without affecting your virtue. Next we have visual effects for Chaotic Step. Chaotic Step now has a unique VFX. Douse this water magic spell now removes 2 to 4 fire DOT effects instead of all of them every single time. Buckets of water and fire. Buckets of water can now be used from your non-combat bar to remove a single fire DOT effect. Each use has 20% chance to consume the bucket on use, so there are roughly 5 uses per bucket. Shadow form. We fixed the issue where the duration was not increasing at night, and we removed the reagent requirement for this spell to better balance it against silent movement. Okay, so there is no more reagents used in using shadow form. Shadow form is like the silent movement skill, but it's under the moon tree or moon magic tree. Next we have experimental Blood Bay level cap. As the test, we are enabling a player level cap of 80 and a skill level cap of 100 for the scene. We're going to watch this for the first few days of release, and then we'll likely roll it back. Players over the level limits will still be able to play in these scenes, but adventurer level 80 and skill level will be used for calculations for skills over those caps. Okay, so why? So they're adding level cap in Blood Bay. Damage absorption. The cap to how much damage resistance can be applied in a hit was reduced significantly. Engage. The cooldown for the engage skill has been reduced to 15 seconds. Okay, so that's nice. Engage is a really good skill. It's a non-combat, well, it's a combat skill, but it doesn't deal any damage, but it lets you pursue running archers and mages. So if you're in PvE and you're fighting a range or a range user or an archer, you can easily get to them, because there is range has this skill that slows you down when you're hit with it. So with engage, you can I'm not sure if that skill disables engage, but if it doesn't, even if it doesn't, or even if it does, you can still, after the slow effect runs out, you can use engage and then run towards them really quickly, really fast. And the range of engage is really far. I think it's 15 or 18. I could be wrong. I can check, of course. Engage is under the where is that? Under the subterfuge skill tree. Here we have pugilism. Where is engage? Oh, here is engage opponent. The range is 18, and you can increase it by leveling up. So right now my engage skill has a range of 18, and that is quite a good range. It's very far, so you can immediately run towards an enemy at a distance. It has a longer range than what do you call that skill again? Body Slam. Body Slam only has what? Range is only what? There's no range. Range is only 8. So imagine that. Engage is like Body Slam times 2. Even further if you keep on leveling it up. Next we have, what do we have? Water elemental healing fixed. We fixed an issue that would stop the water elemental from healing you during combat, which was kind of the only point of having this elemental summoned in the first place. Yep, sometimes the water element doesn't heal you. I have the water elemental. The problem is it uses a lot of the reagents use like what do you call this? The chance to consume reagents is like 85%, so I don't use it a lot. Of course, the chance goes down, but maybe I should use it. Okay, I have okay, I got attacked by a ghost, so my my utility bar changed into the combat bar. I can show both bars, but it will block the view, so that's why I'm not showing both bars. So I'm going to try and put the water elemental here. Ah, look at that. I'm going to cast. There you go. Where is the water elemental? Oh, it's not the water elemental, it's a ghost. I casted I tried to cast the or summon my water elemental, and a ghost appeared instead. Okay, so I'm going to try casting it again, or summoning it again. There you go, it's summoning. Boom! And where is she? There you go, there's the water elemental. Low prices in Berrygos. Yup, that is true. The water elemental looks like a ghost, a female version of the ghost. Okay, being attacked. Why are you attacking my water elemental? Ah, there's a skeleton. A lot of them. My goodness. Let's see if my water elemental will heal me. Right now my water elemental is like engaging or attacking the skeletons. My water elemental is not healing me right now. Of course, that is fixed in release 53. See that? My water elemental is still not healing my avatar. And if you look at the water elemental, It's like, there you go. She started healing me. The water element is like the female version of the ghost. Body Slam fix an issue where sometimes casting this would cause the character to visually run in place. Also fix an exploit where redacted. I don't know what that means. Blood Bay decay from death is now happening again properly in Blood Bay for deaths versus non-player characters. Focus death decay fix. Dying from torpid torment or chaotic feedback should not cause decay. Stealth fixes. Self-cast bombs fix an issue where certain self-cast bombs would be visible after using stealth. What else? Icy effects fix an issue where icy effects were visible when characters were stealth. Ignite weapon fix an issue where flame effects on weapons were visible when characters were stealth. Nameplate recasting stealth no longer reveals your nameplate to others. Subterfuge specialization fix. The sap dexterity debuff effect should now work properly. Knockback tooltip fix. The knockback tooltip now properly reads that bludgeoning specialization increase the damage caused by knockback instead of knockdown. Shadow form tooltip fix. So these are just fixes. Okay, player towns and player housing. Haunted pirate galleon city homes. Our newest city-sized homes are haunted pirate ships. These rotting hulks are festooned with skulls, spiders' webs, and Jolly Rogers. With their vast numbers of holes, we are not sure how the water version is still afloat and the land version is literally a shipwreck. Those are both available in the add-on store. So now we are in the add-on store territory. Bathtubs, feeling like you need a good soak. So there are different kinds of bathtub. We have the Viking, Elven, Shogun, Obsidian, Cobalt, Polished Copper, and Marble. In R54 we will be adding wooden and white porcelain craftable. So the craftable version will be added in release 54 next month. Why not this release? Maybe they haven't created it yet. Ornate Elven lights. So we have ornate Elven chandelier, table lamp, street lamp, floor lamp, and wall stone. Again, these are available in the add-on store, and the craftable versions will be available in release 54. The Cobalt Inn. This Cobalt stylized version of the inn features the same layout as the other inns, including a ground level floor with a large common room and a single private room suitable for kitchen or innkeeper's room, as well as 3 upper floors that each have 5 rooms for a total of 16 rentable rooms. You can find it in the add-on store. Look at that. So that is the what do you call this? The Cobalt Inn. Well, it looks like a Cobalt Inn. And getting that will cost you $100 or 100 gold crowns of the obsidians. Next, we have the ornate tea service. Okay. Again, this is an add-on store item, and a craftable version will appear in release 54. There's also the Novia map tapestry. This tapestry version of the Novia map is the perfect addition to the wall of any home. You can obtain this fine wall hanging in the add-on store. In R54, we are adding a craftable version of the map in a simple wooden frame. Okay, again in R54, they are releasing the add-on store version first because obviously they need to sell them. If If they don't sell anything, they won't have any funds and the game will die. Elf statues, 6 new striking bronze statues commemorate those unique beings who, while originally constructed for war, now try to forge a more complete existence. Again, add-on store items. Craftable banners. We created a short and long banner to hang on the wall of your home. In a future release, when the decoration die system comes online, you will be able to make these custom colors. You can also use the heraldry banner patterns on these to display your heraldry. Okay, toadstool. These mushroom chairs can be gained by defeating the mushroom creatures. Animal skin rugs. Okay, so we've already mentioned the animal skin rugs. Standing torch. These tall decorative torches are now for sale on decoration merchants. At least this item is not in the add-on store. You can find them in the decoration NPC merchant. Phonogram improvements. We did some polish work on the wax cylinder players. We removed light sources from all of them, so they will no longer count against your light source or light count, but they still glow. We also made it so the wax cylinder will appear properly when you are playing it, and the color of the wax cylinder will properly match. We also added an option to allow you to turn off the phonograph filter effect so you can hear the wax cylinders without the extra scratches and hisses. Island POT templates. We extended the signpost teleport network to include the small mainland docks. Gasball fields. Based on feedback from the Gasball League, we have separated the tower and the field for both the ornate and craftable versions of the Gasball fields. So now if you want the tower, you'll need to craft them because they're no longer part of the field, which I think is a good idea because now they can place the tower anywhere. And just leave the field. For those who are not familiar with Gasball, if you are not a Shroud of the Avatar player and you don't know what a Gasball is, well, it's basically an item in the game called, there's an item in the game called Gasball, and there's also an actual game called Gasball. So it's like soccer, but instead of you kicking the ball with your foot, that's why it's called football. But in America they call it soccer, so I'm just going to call it football. So it's like football, but instead of kicking the ball with your foot, you move or push the ball using a magic spell called the Gus spell. So casting Gus on the ball will move it, and of course the two teams will keep on casting Gus on the ball, and whoever push the ball or move the ball to the goal scores a point. It's a 3-on-3 game. It's fun, but it's an event like that can also cause a lot of lag. Door permissions fixes. We fixed some issues with the door permission system to make it more robust, so the issue where some permissions were getting cleared should no longer happen. R53 Lock Deed Raffle winners. Okay, so they are giving away 50 placed anywhere deeds and 100 player owned town deeds, and that will continue in release 54. House and furniture fixes. So they fixed the Cobalt Great Hall City Home, Ornate Brass Dark Lamp, Twin Spires Manor, and Obsidian 4-story row home. New and updated dynamic PLDs. Look at that, there's a bunch of them. So player-owned towns are, well, just like what the name implies, they are towns owned by players, and they keep changing hands. For example, the Isle of Sea changed owners, and now it's called Immortal City. The same with Silverdale Market. It was formerly called Neat, changed ownership, and now it's called Silverdale Market. There's a lot of market towns in Shroud of the Avatar. I have one vendor in one market town, and that is New Britannian Market. Well, I also have one in Crossroads Alley, so go and check them out. But if you wish to, find my main vendors are located in Bladewick. It's a cave town right next to Exeter, and in Barrigos, it's a town right next to Kingsport. So those are where my main vendors are. Okay, why am I trying to attack my own water elemental? Okay, so physical goods, physical manual. So for those waiting for the physical goods rewards, many of them are really impatient because they're can't say it. I'll get a lot of hate, but they are waiting for it and they're getting a little bit impatient about it. But as you can see in this release 53 instructions, the developers or Portalarium is still working on getting those items or making those items. So physical manual, Dennis Lubey has completed all of the illustrations for the manual. We are making final changes based on our last review, and we will be sending it to the printer next week. Nice. Runic and Quick Reference Card. Our version of the Rosetta Stone helps you translate Runic to English. On the reverse side is a quick keyboard commands reference card. The art has been completed and it is undergoing a final review, and we will be sending it to the manufacturer for printing very soon. Next, our Epic Origins, this compendium of Richard's first Dungeons and Dragons character and dungeon designs, plus the story of Mundane, has been completed, is being reviewed even now, and will be sent to the printer next week. Ankh Pendant, this fine artifact digitally sculpted by Dennis Lubey, has reached the stage where the initial physical master has been produced, approved by us, and is ready for its brushed silver finish. Manufacturing of the full run will soon begin in earnest. Note, picture is before silver finish has been applied. So let me show you guys this one. So that is the Ankh Pendant. So this is a real world item that you can wear. I don't think the chain is included. Maybe the chain is included. Who knows? Cloth map. The most recent proof of our wonderful cloth map has been received, approved, and the manufacturing process has begun. Tinkerer's certificates and property deeds. The printing process for all of this is complete, and they are all being trimmed down now to fit nicely within the collector's box. We will be receiving this by the end of this week. DVD with installer and soundtrack. We have received the final art templates for this, have already begun the art production process, and should have this complete within a few weeks to send off to the printer. Localization, we unblocked translation for books. Heraldry is now open for everyone through the sale of Heraldry Eternal Patterns in the add-on store. We also added a cloak to the growing number of items you can use to display your heraldry. Note that these items are visually distinct from the Pounder versions delivered in release 52. I don't freaking care as long as I get to show my heraldry or logo. Character, so worn armor. Okay, so we've gone through this. So I'm going to show you the worn cloak. It looks really nice. That is the worn cloak. Look at that. It looks like you're wearing a sack. I like the style and design of the worn cloak. Okay, Plunderers. Our Plunderer NPC are a faction of the bandit types that players will encounter in many scenes in the game, inspired by the piratical themes of Tenebris Harbor, Penwar Island, and Blood Bay. We decided to make the visuals for these enemies be pirate themed. So we now have pirates in the game in release 53. Female shopkeepers and peasant faces. We decided we were not satisfied with the last round of female faces we produced during recent polish passes. For release 53, we created another round of faces, and we have replaced most of the female shopkeeper and female peasant faces with these new, hopefully better faces. Animated attachments for NPCs. NPCs can now use items that have attached animations when they emote combat. An example of this is a guard using the spyglass. NPCs drawn versus towed weapons. Friendly NPCs are now instructed to not have weapons drawn by default. However, for the most part, guards and soldiers will always have their weapons drawn. So don't mess with NPCs with weapons. Sitting NPCs. Many NPCs in scenes will now sit on the ground when not engaged in some way. Playing music as a group. Use the command sequence play, name of song, sync to play a song together with a group. You'll get a local message that you have prepared a track for play start, the method in which parties can synchronize music. Previously, that message only went to the person starting the song. Now, that message is broadcast to everyone in the party. Okay, Streamer's old-time camera. This new version of the equipable camera has silver metal highlights and dark wood and purple cloth. Okay, so let me show you guys what it is. There you go. When used, it takes a black and white screenshot of the game just like the original version. It is a reward for our Streamers program. Okay, getting a little lag. I know I'm getting some lag when I try to turn around and the video is choppy. Okay, next we have Judge's Wig. Okay, we already talked about this. Epic Plate Armor Polish. We have also slightly reduced the torso size of the Epic Plate Armor to help with swelling issues in various poses. Okay, so I've always noticed that the plate armor, the chest area, is rather quite bulky. It's very nice that they fixed it. Hopefully they made it more slimmer, because compared to the helmet and they also need to fix the leggings, because the leggings are also kind of bulky, really bulky. It looks weird somehow. Three Skull Staff Polish. We upgraded and polished the visuals of the Three Skull Magic Staff. Crossbows Polish. We polished the position for how these weapons are held when standing, walking, and running. Use item animations. We created a new animation for using items. They replace the previous slap placeholder animations, which are most often used when avatars interact with puzzles. The animations include swipe left, swipe right, swipe up, down, 100 push, and 100 pull. NYC Launch Community Cloak. Okay, so Claps Gauntlet Community Cloak to support the player meetup in New York. Okay, emotes will have the Old Prospector Dance in Tenebris Harbor, and then of course the Merritt's Yoga Dance. Okay, so you can get these emotes by installing the Merritt's Fitness Gaming app and earning Merits points, and then getting these emotes with Merits points. New fireworks and polish. So we have new fireworks in the game. We have the pinwheels. These fireworks get placed on the ground and spin around, shooting sparks everywhere. They come in 4 colors and are available in the add-on store. Deluxe aerial burst I think, guys, you need to see this. The fireworks, look at that. That is the pinwheel, and this is the deluxe aerial burst. These are much bigger aerial displays than our previous rockets, with several bursts in a row. They come in 4 variations and are available in the add-on store. Next, we have Elysium candles. These fireworks shoot several flaming shells in a row. Outlanders might know this as Roman candles. They come in 4 colors and are available in the add-on store. Fountain, look at that. Look at the fountain. The fountain doesn't look like a fountain. These fireworks is placed on the ground and shoot a colorful shower of sparks into the air that cascades onto the ground. They come in 4 colors and are available in the add-on store. So those are the fireworks. Okay, so whenever I'm moving, I'm not talking because I'm not moving. This is the reason why my avatar reached level 104 just from mining, because there's a lot of mobs in the mines. And my what do you call this? My elemental is about to die. Don't die, elemental. Ah, my elemental just died. Too bad. Too bad for my elemental. He's dead, or she's dead. Of course, I can, summon him back. And I will summon her back. Him back, her back, it back. Maybe I should just refer to it as it, since it's not a person. It's a water elemental. I'm still not happy with the look of the water elemental. It doesn't look like water. Okay, so casting. Okay. Casting my water, summoning my water elemental, and there you go. It's back. Okay, so we have here spell casting animation polish. AFK polish can now be used in more situations. Ah, look at that. And now properly displays your ape. Leather guard armor patterns. A pattern pack for the leather guard armor has been added in the add-on store. Rotation for network player fix. What is that? We found and fixed an issue that was causing player rotations for network players to look incorrect. I don't understand that. Emotes with attachment fix. Piano and loot fix. Corpse in first person fix. We fixed an issue where you could not see your own corpse in first person view. Well, that's because you're lying in the ground and dead, so you won't see yourself. Anyway, they fixed that. Raven Eyes fix. ABC speed fix. We added a note density rule so that songs that exceed 15 notes per second are not played. Ooh. Gear fixes. Boreas Bone Steel Crown. Short skirted silent bodies. Witch Hat. Perennial Coast Farmer. Audio Lost Veil. So they have like nighttime forest effects, sound effects, temple interior, mystical ambience loop, ethereal mist, waterfall and swim loop, and distant battle sound effects. Low health heartbeats. The heartbeat sound effects that play when your health gets low have been replaced. Artifice Crusher. The machine that crushes people in Artifice has new gruesome sounds of the crushing. Exploding Trap Door. This newest trap has new explosion sounds to go with it. New fireworks. Okay, we know that. General volume adjustments, monthly live stream, and make a difference items. So we're now getting the the rewards for release 51, and those are the Dark Star themed items. And look at the Dark Star shield. It looks really awesome. Look at that. See that? That is the Dark Star shield, and that is not the only item. We'll get also the Dark Star Morning Star, Dark Star Chaos Shield, that's the one in the picture, Dark Star Coronated Chain Helm, Dark Star Chainmail, Dark Star Crossbow, Dark Star Dagger, Dark Star 200 Sword with Black Flames, Darkstar Papers, Darkstar Throne, Darkstar Two-Handed Staff, and Darkstar One-Handed Spear, and Darkstar Clock Tower. Nice. And water.org, we have the water.org glowing mug and the water.org fur colored cloak. Okay, so I guess I just went through all the information, hopefully, in the release 53 instructions while mining in perennial Exeter Crag mines for gold and iron ore. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed watching this video and hope you guys are excited about release 53. It will happen 2 days from now in April 27. Of course, to me that's April 28. For you guys at the other side of the planet that are living in the past, it will happen on April 27. There's a lot of new things in this release. The things that I like most are obviously the heraldry opening to everyone. I need to get them. I think I'm going to either buy them from the add-on store or with crowns of the obsidians. I have a few crowns of the obsidians that I've been saving because I'm thinking of buying another village lot when the bundles are added in the crown merchants. But this release in R53, I'm going to use maybe a few of them or maybe buy a few of them from other players and use them in the crown merchants. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed watching this video or live stream, and if you guys enjoyed it, then please like the video, share to your friends, and subscribe to my channel in YouTube, or follow me in Twitch if you're watching this in Twitch, or follow me in Mixer, Smashcast, Periscope, and in Stream.me if you're watching in those sites or video sharing platforms or live streaming platforms. So that's it. What else? If you haven't tried Shroud of the Avatar yet, the game is basically free now with limits. All you have to do is go to shroudoftheavatar.com, create an account, download the game, install it, and play. It has limits. You're basically a visitor in the world of New Britannia, and if you enjoy the game and you like it and you want to continue playing, there's no time limit, by the way, in the free trial account. You can play it as a free trial forever, I think. So the limits are with the features. Certain features are limited, and there's also a level cap in skills. So if you want those limits removed, then you'll have to upgrade to a full account or buy the full game. Okay, so guys, that's it. Thank you for watching, and see you in Shroud of the Avatar. Bye bye. Of course, I'm going to continue mining because I have an order for like 20k iron ore and 10k gold ores.